Hi, everyone. Here I am. Number 12, archetype, transmuting with love. George, masochist, conditioning, victim. My child was born today, and it brought back memories of my childhood that I thought I would never see again. My mind is full of flashbacks, and it strikes deep fear in me, knowing I live on the precipice of violence. I have no wish to share any of this with my wife or daughter. Violent blows keep hitting me on the back of the head, and I duck in reflex. I turn to defend and see no one there. These memories hold incredible energy and carry with them the power to mold me. I feel the goodness that I have recently discovered slipping as I experience each past event again through my mind. I know it draws me into itself. Violence is an aphrodisiac to me, one I have tried to put behind me since meeting my lovely wife. She is a woman who still believes in the goodness in each of us. I have managed to hide from her my true self. I feel only half alive as I keep the damper on my need for the rush physical pain brings to me. I grew up in an angry home where physical retributions were payment for any infraction to the way my mother and father wanted life to be. Of course, my brother and I never could figure out what they wanted, no matter how hard we tried. So we paid for our actions with pain, and sometimes we did nothing and still received the bounty of their anger with the back of their hand. I am the older, and somewhere along the way I tried to protect my brother. As a result, my father began using his fists on me. When I was finally big enough, I tried to fight back. I ended up in the hospital. My father was a steel worker and had strength honed over years of hard physical labor. My brother chose to seek goodness and has joined the church as a devout Catholic priest. My mother is so proud that one of her children has the calling. She thinks this brings her closer to God and may be her ticket to heaven. She cannot see that it was her home life that drove him to God. I, on the other hand, have no interest in a supreme being that develops a system that allows an innocent child to be tortured throughout their young lives. I have chosen to remember the actions of my parents and do not know this love my brother speaks of. I suppose I may have gotten a glimpse of this love with Carol, but it was so fleeting. I have no real concept of what many others say is the only way to live. Through my late teens and early 20s, I did what all respectable young men do. I sowed my wild oats. I spent 10 years following the need of my cock and found my greatest release when it was mixed with physical pain. I am addicted to the only feelings my body is capable of feeling. I think back to the woman that served my particular needs, and when I do, I yearn for those women again. It is with a burn so intense I find my hands clenched at my sides, with perspiration on my upper lip. How much longer I will be able to keep up this play acting, I do not know. These flashbacks keep bringing to mind the aliveness that is available, but has been denied to me for 18 months now. My daughter is 3, and I will not give my wife another child. I have done all that I know to remain faithful to my wife and dedicated to my daughter. The burn in me is of such intensity that I must tighten my reflexes to hold them inside, and my body aches as a result. Carol has watched me these last 3 years, seen this part of me in bits and pieces. I am a puzzle to her. Her goodness runs deep, where my goodness is only the shallow water floating on top of the turbulence of anger and pain. Regardless of the rolling emotion, I feel dead inside. I am so locked down that no feelings are allowed to escape for fear of the damage they might do. I am a pressure cooker ready to blow its top. I did it. I found my freedom with a prostitute last night. The pain of holding tight for almost 5 years has eased a bit, and I am able to go home without worry about my need for violence. I made my next appointment with her, so I am satisfied that I can make it until then. I have found ways to be absent from home one night a week. I am not a wealthy man earning only a steel worker's pay. I deny myself lunch to save that money for my most important need. It is not fair to my wife, and yet I cannot stop myself anymore. What kind of life would I have with no feelings? All those subtle, gentle feelings others have, I do not have. They were beaten out of me. Now I only feel when I find sexual release, and I find release only when mixed with pain. It is my lot in life. My brother John says this is not so, that love can be enough. I am not convinced. I think it is my destiny to live this way. My hand was dealt, and I am living with it. It was our 5th anniversary last night, and my kind Carol looked so pretty we had sex for the first time in years. Halfway through it, I could feel my interest disappearing and asked her to spank me. She was so gentle at first that I couldn't feel it, but with my coaching, she helped me find fulfillment. I wonder where this will lead. She is so willing to try anything to save our marriage. She has no idea what she is up against. I showed my need for pain in the most honest way I knew how, and Carol, allowing this, took me to a level of pleasure I have never known before. My wife is the closest thing I will ever know of love. I had no idea that she could make me feel this high, this intrigue, this double-edged sword of pain and love. I can see now how my inability to share the truth of my childhood and who I have become makes it impossible for her to understand me. It is my fault, for the deception is mine alone. I wanted what I saw everyone else wanting, this ideal life where the illusion of having it all brings satisfaction. How amazing it would feel to live satisfied. I will never know that. It took less than a year, and now she is gone. Carol let me coach her, and for a few months, it looked as if it might work. When she did finally see the level of my depravity, she pulled away in disgust and never let me touch her again. It took a while for her to figure out what she needed to do for herself and our daughter. Now they are gone. They are gone from my life for good because she will not let me see our daughter. If I could feel, I imagine there would be pain, but I am lost to my own existence of numbness. We sold our home, and she has moved to another state. I hope she finds a good man and has a wonderful life. I tried to be like everyone else around me, and it did not work. I signed the divorce papers the day they came in the mail, and no, I will never see either of them again. I am now free to be my most deprived and have gone deeper into my pain. My body is bruised and sore, but the release was a taste of pleasure that my body yearns for. In truth, it is just a moment of pleasure in a life of pain and numbness. I have noticed that after sharing what I did with Carol, it takes more pain than ever to get off. It has become a tedious effort, and I look forward to the day when my cock no longer works, and I might find a measure of freedom. I have become a captive and live only for a moment away from my own version of a twisted wonderland. My brother has died, and at the age of 49. Hopefully he is with his maker. He tried to find love in the place our world says you can find it, through God. His body was overrun by cancer, and I know that it is the pain of our childhood that ate away until his body could handle no more. I would not be surprised to follow him shortly, for I do not feel well. At 52, I look at the childhood shared with John and know a burden of pain so deep that I must turn my attention anywhere else. There must be a limit that says you have suffered enough and now you can come home to rest and rejuvenate. The trouble is that the only home I know is the cause of early death. Home should be safe, gentle, fun, and welcoming for all, but especially for children. I look at all the men I know from work, and they too are involved in a war at home. What starts out as a love affair turns into a battle of wills. disapproval for any deviation from past agreements, spoken or unspoken, takes over on both sides. Family is a sad experience all around me, a joke that is not funny. What has happened to our family unit? Was it always like this, but now we see it more clearly because we don't hide it as well? If I had one question that I could ask God, it would be about all of this suffering in our homes, the one place we should all be able to count on. It is finally my time to meet my Maker. I look forward to seeing John. Mother has passed, but I have no desire to see her. I wonder if she has changed or is still rotten and unhappy. I cannot fathom a reason for living. I look around at all the chaos and wonder about any design behind it. Sure, John kept talking to me about free will getting in the way of God's plan. If so, how do you account for Carol? Such a good woman, and what did she do? Marry me. She did not deserve me like I did not deserve my parents. So I will leave my worldly goods to my daughter for her college fund, and no one will remember me. What good does all this do? I have no idea. I thought that was to be my last entry, but instead I have met someone. He showed me how to look at my life and what happened to me from a whole new perspective. He took me down a path of understanding while we both lay in a hospital bed waiting to die. I have learned of an inner world where I have met a guide. I do not know how it all works, but I travel to other dimensions and now see myself in a completely new light. I am not a man named George. I am a spirit in a physical body. My identity, the idea I have of me, is no longer just as a human. I have seen other lives I have lived and understand now why I had to go through the childhood I did. Karma is a balancing out of anything that has removed itself from love. My karma helped me know what I had done to others in a previous experience on earth, a record showing what kind of path my decisions had created and how I can learn to do better. I challenge our homes and cry out for the children who are paying such a high price in this world of dysfunction. The drive for status and more of everything has thrown our world into chaos. Even knowing that karma needs to work its way to balance and love, I still want the children to know only love, since that is what forms their base. My brother was right. Love is the only answer there is, and the only example of this love is within, where our Creator resides. There is a part in each of us that is good and true to love. It cannot be explained. Indeed, all we can do is feel it, learn to know it. My life dedicated to not feeling showed me the barren desert when a tropical garden could have been my choice. To choose something different than what we know takes faith. Most importantly, faith in self where God can be found. I had none, and I see every decision I consciously and unconsciously made kept me where I found myself, and there I stayed. For a lifetime, an entire lifetime, I chose pain because I could not see myself different. Can you? The Gathering Room, George. The call is for the children. I brought this forward from many lives. No wonder I feel such deep conviction. I knew it was not true in every part of my being. Babies are not born of sin into sin. Such a great perversion of the truth, and only a fearful parent allows themselves to believe that and use control over a new life from that fear. I speak from my new place of knowing as I watch George complete the circle of 12. The message is clear. Help the children by speaking to the women who will bring in the new children. My heart feels full, almost to bursting, for all of the children living on our blue planet. No matter their age, from 1 to 92, just like the song. Some are children their entire lives as they hide in fear of the truth of the life they are living. It is so important that we each discover this understanding, that the love energy is available at all times, and we need to learn how to tap into it. Then we will find the strength for self-responsibility and change the ways that are away from truth. So my prayer is for everyone, every child of our blessed Mother, Father, Creator. I must speak to the women, all who can have a child. I must get the word out and reach every ear and heart. And so it is, Raziel expounds my energy with his own. Then suddenly the gathering room fills, full of lightning, and a vortex begins to form. Gaining in force, the 12 begin blending into one. The blended rainbow of colors coalesce until they converge with a thunderous, loud roar into one light. A blast of gold and silver blessing, straight from Father, Mother, Creator, seals their approval. Another soul growing into the wholeness found through the wisdom of truth. The stream of light of the 12 then merges into my sphere, settles within me. I have achieved a goal set by myself before entering this physical plane within a female form. There is applause and cheering from places unknown. A celebration is underway. The angels' chorus joins in, and as one, all turn towards earth. In unison, we send all of our loving presence to any soul willing to absorb. There is completion. I need no instruction. With a smile of serenity, I turn towards Raziel. A direct link with Raziel will carry through with me, no matter where life drives me. I am ready for my promised rainbow after a journey through the storm. I now know how to receive and look forward to the show. Opening eyes to dappled sunlight, my heart is expanded and lighter than I have ever known before. There is peace within, a deeper knowing because of the truths discovered, a broader understanding and perspective to live life from. My sphere of light that surrounds my physical body can now be felt as I move through the room. This connection is what will guide me as I continue my earthly journey. Stepping out of the sunroom, I pause and glance briefly at the Chase Lounge. No one would ever know the glorious event that just took place here in the quiet. That thought caused me to stay for a moment. Was it here that all that occurred, or did I go to another realm? My smile is set deep within my eyes, and I can understand now why not needing to know has a beauty all its own. A new kind of confidence will carry me forward. I turn from the room, heading towards my next adventure.